How would you describe the feeling after finally clinching? Relief, more to come out. What was that locker room like for you guys post game today?
I think there's a healthy celebration in that we've accomplished a goal. But there's also, a mindset of we still have work to do. So it's I don't know if relief is the right word, more so just pride. Like I'm really proud of these guys. Most teams would have, with all of the stuff that we've been through, most teams would have folded. And we just kept getting stronger, and we kept reinventing ourselves. And these women in the locker room deserve a lot of credit for their ability to stay resilient, to stay together, to stay hungry, and to stay the course.
Different accomplishment, but last time the Fever had over 500 season was your first year as a head coach. What does that mean in the context of especially what you guys have gone through this season? What does that mean to
It
you?
means I'm old. No, I mean it means a lot, and not just Bree was there during that time too, and we all, Bree, Rima, Austin. I mean we've all grown in this organization in so many different, Tully, in so many different ways, and so we take a lot of pride in how we show up every day, and to continue to be a part of the legacy of the Indiana Fever, and to lead in a way that I hope our players can see how much we care about this franchise, how much we care about them, how much we care about the legacy of this league, and where we're going. But I just really am so proud of these guys. We've got more work to do, but just taking this moment to give them their due.
Aliyah, just through the adversity that you guys went through this season, especially maybe in August when people were going down left and right, did you guys feel like this was always possible to make the playoffs? Did you ever have moments of concern or doubt? And what allowed you guys to just keep, the eyes on the prize more or less?
Yeah, I think, just being someone in this locker room, you never doubt yourself and what you're capable of, no matter what happens. I think the entire staff, up to the head, just made great decisions when people went down on who to bring in, the type of people to bring in. And that was really our mindset. We never doubted ourselves. We never doubted that we could be in the playoffs. Even if things looked like it got harder, for us, it was about sticking together. And I think through everything, you're able to see that, us play with joy, us play together, regardless of who's on that floor.
And how would you describe the locker room after the game today, just being able to sell?
Well, we didn't make a TikTok, so I think everyone is just super excited. Like you said, it hasn't been a perfect road. And so for us, it's enjoying the little moments while at the same time understanding we have another game on Tuesday and then we have to prepare for the playoffs. But I think just being in the moment and being where our feet are and kind of just enjoying this one.
Yeah, Ariel, Steph has obviously talked very highly of you and all the other players coming in this past month and being able to adjust. Just what has it meant to you to be able to come in, make an impact, and help this team come to playoffs?
It's been amazing coming in. You never want to be the person that's not giving energy, not giving to your team, and also knowing what the organization has already went through, right? Unfortunately, they had some injuries, but coming in, the first thing that really was like, whoa, when we brought it together, Kelsey goes, when we were doing guard shoot around, we all we got and we all we need. Mm-hmm. And right then and there, I was like, yep, I already felt it already. But coming in and feeling the grit, the grind that the team has from top to bottom, just being able to insert myself, it's been amazing, and I'm thankful to be here.
Coach Stephanie, like everybody said, this year has been full of a lot of injuries, a lot of adversity. Just what does it feel like just to be where y'all at this moment in time?
I feel proud. I feel proud of these women. And what they've been able to continue to do. I feel proud that we continue to raise the standard for ourselves and for one another. But I'm also, I look at this group and the roots that have been grown throughout the course of this season, and thinking about, not just where we are now and the opportunity that we have in the playoffs, but where we're going to be in the future. I said when I took this job that, a lot of these players, there's no substitute for experience. And when you can go through and grow through these types of experiences, it lays a foundation for championship culture and championship mindset. And ultimately, that's our ultimate goal. But to be able to take it one day at a time, to be able to put ourselves in a position to be in the playoffs, and then now the mindset of finishing the regular season and then making noise in the playoffs.
Hi, I'm a reporter with the Baltimore Sun, so this is kind of Baltimore centric, but for all three of you, this is the second time you've played in Baltimore. How does Baltimore compare to maybe just destinations like Atlanta or Minneapolis?
I think they show out. They're pretty loud. I think that's what you love when you go on the road and you can just hear the support. And I think they do a great job of cheering on the Mystics.
Vera, you've only been here for 15, 16 days with this team, but especially having been on championship teams before, how quickly could you feel the postseason push urgency when you got to this team?
Of course, bringing me in for a reason, and I know what we all want to achieve. Playoffs was the first goal. Now, the next goal, just like Coach said, is making a run in the playoffs. So for me, everything from asking too many questions to watching film to talking to her to talking to my teammates to the first plane ride, sitting with Shay, going over play is like whatever my team needs. I'm just trying to do my best.
Steph, I know the last game, there was some things that your urgency of like, we need to play better if we want to make sure we make the playoffs, but especially the second half today, what were you most pleased with? And how do you feel like you guys can really build off of that going into this postseason run?
I was really pleased with our defense in the second half. Our attention to detail, our energy, our execution. This is a really challenging team to defend because they are in constant motion. And I thought our defensive urgency, we took it to another level. It allowed us to get out in transition. We were much more disciplined in terms of after the first 3 minutes of the third quarter, we were much more disciplined in terms of defending without fouling. And that's what we have to do. You come into this season and you looked at the great offensive players that we had, and we've had to reinvent ourselves really to being a really great defensive team that gives us an opportunity night in and night out. And I thought the second half was a good example of that.
This question is for Aliyah. This being your third season, it seems like you've been a lot more assertive or spicy this year.
Spicy?
Spicy. Smooth. I feel like for me, it's just my approach is just coming in and just trying to be dominant in anything the team needs. And so if that gives off spicy, which I really don't think it does, I feel like I'm like kind of quiet.
Spice?
No, I just not spicy. But yeah, I feel like that's just been my mindset is just coming in and just being the player that I need to be for us. Whatever that looks like, it looks like.